Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Anywhere you come across my video, you have to share, you have to like, you have to subscribe to Aziza Audio YouTube, you have to follow my backup page, Aziza Audio TV for Facebook. Yeah. This broadcast is about Africa continent. You know, the mineral resources that belong to Africa, the mineral resources that come from Africa belong to Africa. You get me right? The mineral resources that come from Africa belong to Africa. So I want to play it. So after the video, then I will start to analyze because what is going on in Africa is very bad. I don't know why the Western they are dragging the mineral resources in Africa. So Malawi don't tell the mineral resources that come from Africa belong to Africa. Yeah. Regarding the minerals of Africa to be returned to the Africans because that's where they belong. We want to build industries in Africa and process our minerals here in Africa. We've got the capacity. We must never allow the imperialist forces to divide us in order to take our minerals from us. We demand one Africa. We demand borderless Africa. We demand Africa with one president, with one currency, with one man, with one parliament, because we know the currency of Africa will be much more stronger against the American currency. We don't care what Trump thinks of us. He will never choose a policy position for Africans. We are not subject of Trump. We must refuse to be subjects of Trump. We must stand together as the world changes and show the world that Africa is one and Africa is equal to all nations, to China, to Russia, to America. We are not just a small nation. We are a big nation. We are not a dark continent or diamond. That we are. My fellow Africa continents, you hear what Malawi, this South Africa activists, they talk. So he call of all Africa continents. So we need to unite together. You understand? Because the mineral resources that come from Africa belong to Africa. Anything that come from Africa belong to the citizen of Africa. Is not belong to the citizen of the European. So anything that Africa decide that will work for them, Africa have to move to that step. So Africa cannot listen to the European, to the Trump say he want tell Africa what to do. You understand? So you say Africa need to unite together. Africa need to have one passport, one military, one president, and unity. You understand? Because if you look at the way the European, you understand, the Western, they are pressuring Africa. They are after everything. If they see any person that is capable to stand for Africa, they will just try to emulate that person. So because they know that Africa, if Africa stand, the Europe economies will go down. That is why you see they are fighting Africa in no way. They don't want Africa to stand. So I call on Africa leader. I call on the Africa leader and I call on Africa citizen. I call on Africa president. Please, let's come together and support those ES. You understand? So you see, most of Africa leader and everybody now wake up to see the problem that is going on in Africa. So let you people come together and unite and build the unity of Africa. You understand? Because if Africa unite, no continent in the world can withstand Africa, and no continent in the world can drag with the economies or the currencies of Africa because of what Africa asks. You understand? You know, those people, they have been deceiving us that Africa is poor. Africa is poor. That is what everybody believes. You understand? It's now we know that Africa is not poor. It's because of those people put on that position, put on that lead that let people know that Africa is poor. Because if they make if Africa stands, you understand, the European will fall. That is why they make many people believe that Africa is poor. Africa is not poor. Because so many leaders in Africa now, they don't stand because If you see what Ghana is doing, the Ghana president, the current president is Ghana. If you see what he's doing, he's doing excellent job in Ghana. If you see Namibia president, what he's doing, the woman do excellent job. They talk about Tanzania also. They are doing very great job. After that, you come back to the to Ibrahim Toure, Mali, Niger. They talk about Chad. Those people, they are trying. So I call on Africa leader, let's unite together and bring the unity of Africa. You understand? Because those Europeans, anything that they know that will good for Africa, they will not do it for Africa. They will not support Africa to do it. That is the reason you see they are trying to put division in Africa. Now, so those are the people they are trying to divide us. Those are the people that put confusion in Africa. Those are the people that don't want Africa to grow. Those are the people that just want Africa, and they just anything they want to do for Africa to support Africa with aid. Africa don't need aid. You understand? Africa don't need a free Africa. Let Africa to develop their own because they have their own sovereignty. Let them produce what they have. Don't come to Africa and exploit their mineral resources. Some they will some French company, European company will be in Africa. You understand? So 90% they will export to Europe. The country where they produce this thing, so they feel give them 10%. Is that the way you want Africa to grow? Is that the way to grow? Can you do that with your fellow European? No. So that is why I'm very happy that Africa, they are rising on. Africa, they are rising on. That is why I'm very happy what so many African leaders do. They are taking the right step. So all other Africa that did not support them, I call them, please, let's support each other and build Africa. You understand? And build the continent of Africa, because the way Africa are suffering, nobody like it. You understand? Because we have what it takes to build that continent. We have what it takes to provide food for our children. We have what it takes to provide anything for our kids that they need, because Africa have what it takes. Don't allow the Westerner to come and steal those mineral resources. Don't allow the Westerner to come and export those things to Europe, because most of Africa leaders, they work with the European. They don't care about their citizens. You understand? So I call on Africa leader. I call on Africa youth. I call on Africa continent. Please, let's come together and build the unity of Africa. So anywhere you come across my video, you have to share, you have to like, you have to follow me on my Facebook, Aziza Audio TV, my backup page. You have to subscribe to Aziza Audio YouTube. One love, base there.